Posted by you/throwaway Kyle 125E3. I, 26F, want my husband, 27M, to immediately block one of his friends, Kyla, 27F, but he thinks I am overreacting, so let me know if I am just acting crazy, or this is something that would cross the line for you. My husband has a group of 8 friends he has been close with since his college days. Kyla is one of his friends. When my husband and I started dating, he introduced me to all of them, and everyone was very friendly. I used to hang out with them frequently. I am an introvert, and so is my husband. I would always ask him to spend time alone, as being in social settings just saps all my energy away. His friends, and especially Kyla, always made it a point to tell me how he hangs out with them less after he started dating me. Kyla also had a weird energy around me. If I was with my husband, she would be the friendliest with me. However, as soon as he walked away, she acted like I did not exist. My husband hates being touched by others, we both are ND, but Kyla would always tease him by trying to hug him, mess his hair, etc. I never felt she was flirting with him, but just teasing him to make him annoyed. Overall, she just seems like a person who has a severe social boundary issue. We got married 2 years ago, and things have been great between us. Last week, we had our second wedding anniversary and invited a bunch of people. His friends stayed back after all the guests left, and we were all drinking and chatting. One of his friends, Jen, became a bit tipsy and started complimenting me on how beautiful our house is, how I care for my husband, and how he has changed for the better since marriage. Everyone was laughing at my husband about how much of a slob he was when he was single. Jen then pointed at Kyla and said, "You better pay up because you had bet that their marriage would not even last for 2 years." Everyone became silent and started changing the topic. I also did not want to spoil the mood and let it go, but it stuck in my head. After everyone left, I asked my husband what Jen was talking about. He had also noticed Jen saying that and was ready with a full explanation. He told me the story of what happened when we got engaged. When he proposed to me, he had not told his friends that he was going to do that. We went on a trip to Puerto Rico, and he surprised me there. We put our engagement pictures on Instagram while we were on the trip, and it was a big surprise to everyone as we had only been dating for 1 year. When he came back and met all his friends, everyone congratulated him. However, Kyla started ranting about how he was a fool to propose so quickly and that she felt I was not the right girl for him. It seems like she said some unkind things about me, implying I was a gold digger. My husband's family is wealthy, but so is mine. She had said that she bet we would break up within 2 years if we got married. That is why Jen was taunting her about how happy my husband was with me. I was very furious at this point, as I feel this is something he should have told me. I asked him to tell me truthfully if he had ever dated Kyla or had any history with her, as he has always told me that he has never dated anyone from his friend group. He said that he has, of course, not dated or hooked up with Kyla. However, Kyla had asked him out a few times when they were in college, and he always politely declined. I asked why he said no to her, and he said he just does not have any romantic feelings for her. I can see that because my husband does have a type based on me and the other people he has dated in the past, and Kyla is the opposite of that. I'm just mad at her for saying bad things about me, especially after knowing that we were already engaged, and betting against my marriage. I told my husband that he needs to minimize contact with Kyla and that she is not invited to parties at our house anymore. He feels I am being too harsh for something she said almost 3 years ago. He also pointed out that she has been very supportive to both of us and helped a lot during our wedding arrangements. He feels she is just blunt and forthright when she speaks but does not mean those things. He told me to take some time and calm down, and we would revisit this topic in a week. He is worried this will completely change the dynamics within his friend group. Am I wrong for wanting him to block her and stop inviting her to our house? I think betting against our marriage and badmouthing me behind my back seems like a huge betrayal. I'm also mad at my husband for keeping this fact from me and never telling me that Kyla asked him out during college. Am I just being crazy and reactive? I don't want to distance my husband from his friends, but I also do not want to see that beach Kyla's face again. Update 1. I had posted almost 6 months ago regarding my husband's friend Kyla betting that our marriage would not last for more than 2 years. I was upset and had asked my husband to stop talking to her because she disrespected our marriage. Since then, Kyla has pulled some really pathetic crap to stir up issues between my husband and me. After I wrote the post, my husband was trying to convince me that Kyla was just joking when she made those comments, and it happened so long ago. Kyla messaged me the next day, apologizing for her comments and also for not making more efforts to connect with me. I accepted her apology and started warming up to her. She started inviting me for brunches and girls' night out with them, and I felt included in their friend group. One day during brunch, I brought up why Kyla really thought our marriage would not work out. Kyla told me that my husband broke up with his long-term ex-girlfriend, Joanna, 2 months before he started dating me. I knew that part, but Kyla told me that my husband was really heartbroken after the breakup and swore to her that he would stay away from dating anyone. When he met me on a blind date set up by my mom, she was surprised by how quickly we hit it off. Kyla thought that I was his rebound relationship, but when he proposed to me within a year, she was worried that he was making a very rash decision. My husband's family is rich, and she thought it was unwise for him to marry so quickly without knowing me well. She did not know enough about me and that my family is also very well off. That is why she was concerned that I was taking advantage of his vulnerable state. She apologized to me and said that it was wrong for her to assume that, and over the years, she has seen how happy we are together. I appreciated her honesty, and Kyla and I became good friends since then and started hanging out more frequently. Around 2 months ago, my husband went to a conference in Seattle for 3 nights. After he came back, I got a "Hey girly" message on Instagram from Joanna, his ex. She told me that my husband contacted her a few months ago and they met in Seattle during the conference, and she could give me more proof if I wanted. I went through my husband's Instagram, but he seems to have blocked her. I made the mistake of mentioning it to Kyla, as she was the only person honest with me about Joanna, and she went into detective mode to help me. She was still friends with Joanna on Instagram, as they all went to college together, and opened her profile. The message sent to me was from a different profile, with no followers. We checked her photos, and we saw that she attended the same conference as my husband did in Seattle. Kyla suggested I should ask Joanna for more proof and also ask my husband about the same before assuming the worst. I asked my husband if he met Joanna, and he said yes. He told me he just met her in the expo hall and chatted with her for a few minutes. I asked him why he did not mention it to me, and he told me it was just a quick conversation, and he did not think too much of it. He asked me how I knew, and I told him that Kyla mentioned she saw her pictures at the conference, and I thought he might have seen her. I messaged Joanna again to share more proof. She told me that they had been chatting for the past 2 months and planned to attend the conference together. She shared a log of their messages, where my husband was actively flirting with her. The screenshots did look legit, but I did not see any of those messages in my husband's Instagram profile. I talked to Kyla about it, as I did not know what to believe. I messaged Joanna to tell us what happened between them, and she told me that he invited her to his room at night and they hooked up, but she does not have any photos because he insisted they do not take any pictures together. I immediately realized it was fake and messaged Joanna to screw off. She kept on insisting she was telling the truth and that she spent the nights with my husband in his room on all 3 nights. I told her that my husband and I were playing video games for almost 2 to 3 hours each night after his dinner, as that is what we do to catch up when he is away. Unless Joanna was sitting behind him watching us play until he fell asleep, she was full of crap. I also told my husband about the whole incident, and he said I should have come to him sooner. He told me that he has gone no contact with Joanna ever since they broke up, and that he just ran into her at the conference. He said I could check his phone and everything to verify that he has blocked her everywhere. I told him I didn't need to, and that Joanna might have run into him and just decided to mess with his life by making up stuff. When all the friends met that weekend, my husband and I told everyone about how Joanna sent messages to me and faked everything. Kyla was also sharing what happened, as she had helped investigate the situation. Kyla accidentally let it slip that it's lucky we are nerds and played video games at night before sleeping, otherwise, props would go to Joanna for making up a convincing story. I never told Kyla about the video game stuff. I just told her Joanna was full of crap, and I blocked her. It took me until I came home to connect the dots. I told my husband about it, and he confronted Kyla. She denied it and claimed that I told her about the video game stuff on a phone call, but I don't remember doing that. We have since decided to keep our distance from Kyla. Kyla has called me multiple times to meet up, but I just make up reasons that I am busy. I do not know why she did it, but at this point, I am not interested in it, and we have decided to just see her on social occasions and avoid hanging out with her as much as possible. I feel stupid that she played me for a fool, and I should not have gone to her when Joanna started messaging me. In hindsight, it seems suspicious that Kyla started telling me about Joanna at the same time Joanna claimed to have an affair with my husband. I do not know what her intentions are, but I am mad enough to avoid her as much as possible. I wish I had some real proof that she was the one messaging me, so I could expose her. I also feel bad for suspecting my husband. But I am glad my husband and I are on the same page now. Commenter. Does your husband also believe that Kyla made up a fake Instagram account, pretending to be Joanna? Because that's pretty psycho behavior. Ops response. Yes, he believes me because I told him that I never told Kyla why I thought the account was fake. It's possible she guessed it if I ever mentioned to her that we play video games at night, but it seems suspicious that she would guess that was exactly the reason why I realized the account was fake.